When a book was written doesn't just matter for scholars. It matters because it helps us understand what's in the letter, and maybe, just as important, what's not. Most scholars believe James was written sometime in the 40s AD, possibly between 44 and 48. That puts it early, maybe even the earliest New Testament writing we have. Why does that matter? Well, when we read Paul or Peter, a lot of church issues have already been worked out. Gentiles are coming in. There are debates about circumcision, food laws, and how the gospel applies to non-Jewish believers. But in James, none of that shows up. And that silence says something. This letter was likely written before the Jerusalem Council in Acts 15, before the church had to figure out what to do with Gentiles who didn't keep the law. That's why James sounds so Jewish. It's not because he's stuck in the past, it's because this is what faith looked like for Jewish Christians still living their faith within a Torah-shaped world. This was a moment when the early Jesus movement was still mostly Jewish, still under pressure, and still figuring out how to walk faithfully in light of the resurrection. And James? He's writing to help them do just that. You can even hear the urgency of the early church in his words. He tells them the judge is standing at the door. They weren't just thinking long-term theology, they were living like Jesus might return at any moment, and James wanted their lives to be ready. So when you read James, you're stepping into the early days of the church, before the creeds, before the councils, before the New Testament was complete. This is raw, real-world Christianity, not polished, not packaged, but rooted in wisdom, shaped by Scripture, and laser-focused on living with integrity in uncertain times. Next up, what exactly is James trying to say? What's the big message of the letter?